welcome back. Happy New Year 2019. Goodbye to that year. Hello to 2020, that was really hard. Anyway, welcome to the 11th? I lost track.
Episode.
11th episode of Geeks Reviews. I'm your host, I'm Ray,
I'm Taylor.
and this is Geeks Reviews. Man, you
Yeah.
forgot our intro already. It's been like a couple of days, a couple of weeks.
Ah.
Shame. So, anyway, this I won't say we're gonna go easy today, but the main focus of this episode is gonna be the overarching opinions about film and TV throughout the 2010s.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the new Star Wars, the
Yeah, the
Rise
new
of Skywalker.
briefly.
Yeah, and then we'll be going to the Mandalorian.
That's true.
Then
Great
we'll be talking about The Witcher.
Another great show, but my dad hates it.
And it's been a decade. We watched a lot of stuff.
So the birth of Geeks Reviews was in 2010s as well, 2014.
Oh yeah.
The podcast was 2019.
Yeah.
5 years after.
5 years in the
Literally,
making.
I think it was 5. Is it close to exactly 5 years since I started the Instagram account.
Yeah.
But not gonna,
We'll just go over like some of the things that we watched that we liked.
what
in the
we
decade.
watched and what really impacted us as a whole, and what's the 2010 our 2010 movie.
Yeah.
Can be anything within that decade. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
what's your opinion about the Rise of Skywalker?
You know what? At first, I was upset.
You gave some thought to it.
Yeah, but then I really thought about they really didn't have like a grand plan,
Oh yeah, they don't have a Kevin Feige
Yeah.
at the start.
and just now I understand that like J.J. Abrams did his best to please as much people as possible.
See, that was my problem
Yeah,
with the Rise of Skywalker,
yeah,
because the one thing I really enjoyed about the character of Rey is that she's a nobody.
yeah,
She's a nobody who's a force sensitive. She can be any person. She can be related to any person outside of the Skywalker family, outside of the Palpatine story arc, and she'll be grandeur. It's the force. The force. No one knows how the force works.
Like it goes back to that classic tale of like the unknown hero.
Midichlorians. She has a very high midichlorian count.
You know what? Like, I was thinking about it. I wish was it episode 8, right?
Yeah.
The Last Jedi, I was hoping they would switch sides. Like, Rey would go to the dark side, and, like, Ben would come back.
It was technically, well, it wasn't really technically there, but
No.
yeah, it was played around.
Yes. And
I really like, yeah, same here. I
Yeah.
actually like that idea because it shows that, not everyone's perfect.
because I feel
except
like,
for Rey.
I
She's
feel like
Daisy
this
Ridley.
trilogy, like, a movie should always reflect its generation, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like this trilogy should have been questioning everything, like the past
Mhm.
trilogy, the original trilogy. Just question everything,
That's true.
you know?
What I really wanted is like more force oriented.
Yeah.
Like that's why I really enjoyed the Last Jedi. What Luke said about the Force, it's not good, it's not bad.
Yeah.
It's the Force. No one knows how it works. Everyone just thinks they know. But the idea of Rey just being a bunch of just a random person who was sold to a bunch of to a junkyard,
Right.
to me was a good idea. I found out like a great plan, but the idea that it was like I predicted the entire movie as it goes along.
It was too plain and
It was-
too
yeah,
like
it had some moments. It has good moments, but like it still has so much problems that
I know I kind of ranted against J.J. Abrams, but I completely understand.
I'm still ranting about him. I never
Yeah.
like
There should at the end of the day, no matter who directed it, there should have been a plan.
that should have. Yeah, I agree.
There
but
should have been a plan.
yeah.
And it shouldn't, like, episode 7 shouldn't be like so vague or open-ended.
I like that because it gives them like pathways to handle it. Like how where do they want to approach it? Like, oh, Captain Phasma, we don't know what to do with her, so let's throw her into the garbage pile because
But
no one
then,
knows.
but then you have like,
But we have Poe Dameron,
but then you have
still has no character development
you have
until the
Ryan
ninth one.
Johnson who says, okay, I'm going to do this my way then. If it's so open-ended,
That's
then
true.
it just becomes a whole mess. It
Yeah.
should have been at least one director, or
That's true.
somebody that runs the
mhm.
show and like hires different directors for
That
each
was
episode.
my like. I love The Last Jedi. Like I think it's the best one out of the new trilogy.
Uh-huh.
But like you said, if they were just gonna go with J.J. Abrams, might as well have had J.J. Abrams direct the
Right.
whole trilogy because the ninth episode was supposed to be Colin Trevorrow, the director of Jurassic World, which I do not mind, to be honest. I love Jurassic World. I want to see what he plans on, but at the same time, like you said, compared to the original, they tried to recapture the beauty of the original trilogy, where it's
Right.
all three different directors, one by George Lucas and the other two directors, and it didn't really work, because I mean, even if they do one director, look at the prequel trilogy. The first two were could be better, but the third one, in my opinion, it's like I could watch that movie all day long.
Right.
It's that fun, but it was really tricky. It's all it needs. It really needs a plan because, like I said, in the prequel trilogy, even though it's under one director, George Lucas still pretty much threw out a lot of the ideas that was introduced in the first episode, like midichlorians. Even though, I mean, they could have, explained a little bit better, but they just threw it out in the window.
I
That's
feel
okay with
like the original trilogy, right, was
Yeah.
the classic good versus evil story.
that.
You know,
Which
I would think,
works because it's
yeah,
it's the 70s through what 80s,
yeah.
and it shows the somewhat cheesiness of Hollywood then.
It showed good versus evil.
Mhm.
It was black and white. Then you go to like the prequels, right?
Yeah,
It was more
temptation,
it was more maybe
the suffering
religious
yeah.
versus science, or
I wouldn't call
well,
it science,
if they
but
carried on with the
they did have
midichlorians.
they did have the religions
Yeah.
aspect of it.
But then that's why I feel like this trilogy
Didn't
it
have
should
any
been,
flavor.
it should have been like a,
Whoa.
sorry. Hello?
Anyway,
Anyway.
we're back.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Technical difficulties at some point, but yes.
Yeah, so this trilogy it should have been a gray area, just questioning things that were already established.
Yeah, that's what I like about the Last Jedi. Luke questions the Force,
Yes.
and pretty much he questions the Jedi belief, as as a lot of people do with any religious belief out there.
And I feel like it should have questioned the Jedi belief. It should have questioned the Sith belief, because when you really look at the Sith,
I didn't even thought about that.
it's a lot of human emotions.
Yeah,
Yeah. So would you say the Sith is more human-like? Is that's why are we trying to like fight our?
but no, let's bring back Palpatine back.
Yeah, but I mean, it would have been fine if
The trailer looks so
Kylo
cool
Ren
too.
was the bad guy, or if they did the switch.
That's true. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna make Kylo Ren the last Sith in the galaxy, have the balls to keep him the final Sith in the galaxy.
That's what this trilogy lacked. It lacked
A proper,
guts. It lacked
precisely.
like real artistic guts.
hmm
They
And
played
they-
it safe.
super
And-
safe. That's why
yeah.
that's why the Rise of Skywalker, as decent as it is, it's just a huge fan service.
And
Even the guy Wedge, whatever his name is, I never knew who he was, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, they brought him back." I'm like, "Who?"
and I'll admit, even though I prefer Last Jedi in this trilogy, it does have its problems.
Yeah, I mean,
It
it's-
has its problems.
like the Leia, as I like the idea that I mean, it was already established in the Force Awakens or in the Force Awakens trailer, but or in the what was it Return of the Jedi,
Mm-hmm.
that the Skywalker family is really strong with the Force. That
Right.
gives a reason why Leia can use the Force. But at the same time, the execution could have been better. Could have
Right.
been better.
And
Could have been better.
I mean,
Just a
and
tad bit.
then there's characters that they really shouldn't
Questionable.
have been there.
Laura Dern.
Laura Dern, Rose. Like, I have nothing against the actress. It's just, it could have been. It could
The
have been
whole
an
plot
actor.
point was weird.
Yeah, it
The
could have been
entire
somebody.
the entire plot point with the entire plot with Finn and Rose was just weird. Like, take that out. I think people would enjoy The Last Jedi, but you will cut out a lot.
And put Poe in there, or put
Right? I thought there was going to be
Yeah.
Poe. I thought Poe will be the one to join Finn.
yeah,
They'll have the
buddy.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That's why I love the intro of Rise of Skywalker. It had Finn and Poe
yeah.
with Chewbacca. I think it was Chewie playing against Finn in that old timey chess game that it had at the Falcon.
It lacked. When you watch something for a long time,
Yeah.
you watch a series or something, and you see like the main characters are separated, right? For a middle point in the film or like the series.
Mhm.
But then at the end they reunite and
Oh,
you're like
are you talking about Ray and Poe? I mean Ray and Finn.
basically that original
They-
cast that was supposed to
They rarely
the
had
movie.
any screen time.
yeah.
And compared to Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, and Chewie,
Yeah. They lack chemistry.
they had actual screen time together. They had, oh, excuse me, ooh, the beer. Sure, in Return of the Jedi, the Empire Strikes Back, they didn't really share. But three out of four still featured their journey.
And
Whereas Luke still has his journey. This one,
yeah.
at
There was
least
no journey.
outside of Rey.
Yeah.
There was no journey outside of Rey. They tried to do it with Finn. They briefly had it for the intro, which I actually loved. What was it?
Are we talking about Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah, the jumping, where Rey was like, "Don't do that."
Oh, they had to like
was
mess
like
with the hyperdrive and they had
hyper
to jump.
jump.
Yeah,
yeah,
hyper jump. Yeah.
yeah. I think it was called hyper jumping.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, don't do that, or you'll kill the Falcon."
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, it is pretty old, but yeah, I can see why. And that one's a pretty cool little snippet. Then every time they see each other, that was cool. I was like, give me more of this. Give me more. Even in the prequel, you have Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan hanging out sometimes, talking to one another, making sure everyone's safe, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
But this one, I don't remember seeing Poe in the first one, in the Force Awakens, till like probably
Last minute. Beginning and last minute.
beginning, then a little bit of the middle, then he completely disappeared at the end. But I have to say it's probably because of X-Men Apocalypse. He was Apocalypse in that movie, but still.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Then in The Last Jedi, they made him into a hothead, which I like. They need more, they need to have that Han Solo-esque character in order, to what you call it, to attract people more. And not gonna lie, to be honest, Oscar Isaac was my favorite within the four of them.
yeah.
But Adam Driver, you can tell Adam Driver is countries away from these people, planets, galaxies. He was the best one. Like, he acted well.
Yes,
He had the best performance.
he's
Like,
a very good actor. If you see his
I mean,
work outside of Star Wars,
outside of
it's great.
it's pretty surprising, to be honest. Like, when I watched the movie, I was like, oh yeah, this Academy Award nominee probably has a couple of awards under his belt already. Is in Star Wars, especially on the sequel trilogy. Even Oscar Isaac, but sometimes I forget about Oscar Isaac. But still, like,
Legit actor.
both of them are. That's why they brought it forward. Then there's John Boyega. No offense, dude, but can you just bring down the amount of Rey you say in that entire film, because the entire character development of Finn in that movie is just him changing his pitches every time he yells for Rey.
And
Ray, Ray.
did you feel like they were trying to couple each other?
They've been doing this. I don't know what's up with J.J. Abrams, but he's been trying to do that since The Force Awakens. I was all for it, but I kind of want to see a more bromance between Poe and Finn.
I just want to see something like established,
right?
Not just
but,
like because there was
I have to tell Ray something.
No, this
what?
Literally, it was like Poe with Ray, Poe with Finn.
I actually did not see Poe and Ray.
No, when they got trapped in that sinkhole, in the sand, the quicksand.
Oh.
Yeah, and he was like trying to help her up, and then they were arguing about like the Millennium Falcon hyper jumping. I was like, I might be tripping, but I sensed they were trying to do something with those two.
I think it was just more like for me anyway. I just see it as a.
It just felt out of place. Though.
Yeah. It was like, I mean, it was that only instance where they had that moment, Whereas for Finn and Rey, they've been having that since The Force Awakens.
And Finn and Poe.
Same with Finn and Poe.
Yes.
That's been established.
And then
Ben and Rey, all the way since The Force Awakens.
Jesus.
But a little bit. I say if they given it one more year, because 2014 was when The Force Awakens came out. Yeah. 2017 was The Last Jedi. If they gave The Rise of Skywalker one more year, I feel like.
But what else could they do? They were trying to
fix up the plot holes.
Yeah. No, that's what they were trying to do.
No, retell the pretty much retcon some stories. Have a better. I mean, I won't say better death. I mean, feature Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Have him show up at Ben and say, "Yo, dude, that's bad. I know I did that, but don't do that."
Yeah.
Or show the entire Skywalker line at the end with Leia and Luke, and not just those two. Ben literally sacrificed his entire life.
Okay. Oh yeah.
From healing Rey.
Can we talk about something real quick? Why did she take up the name Skywalker? She's
not creative, except for that lightsaber.
Yeah, that lightsaber was okay.
That lightsaber's cool. Gold with that cool little hilt.
Yeah.
Hilt. But yeah, it's kind of weird. She should have gone a more, I wouldn't say cringy, but the more the fantasy-esque name like Geralt of Rivia. How
Rey of Tatooine or something.
Jakku.
Or Jakku, yeah.
Rey of Jakku.
Well, she lives on Tatooine now.
No, I thought she just visited to bring back Leia and Luke Skywalker. Leia and Anakin's lightsabers back.
I forgot. That's
always
been Anakin's
lightsaber. I don't know
lightsaber.
why, but Luke had a different lightsaber at the end of Return of the Jedi. Yeah. He had a green one.
Yeah, and they showed it.
But they still have the blue one.
Yeah.
I was like, why? He dropped that in the Cloud City.
Yeah, and they never explained how they got it.
Precisely.
Plot holes.
Well, thank you, J.J. Abrams, for giving us a copy, a straight up carbon copy of A New Hope, without explaining how the hell they got Luke Skywalker's lightsaber back from the bottom of Cloud City.
Literally.
Did it get stuck on a railing? Did it fall all the way down? Who knows? We don't know. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. Rey got it.
Literally, the lady that kept the lightsaber said, "That's a story for another time."
They never
showed it.
They never mentioned it. That was hilarious. Then
Han Solo. Harrison Ford made a little cameo.
Just to get that money, to be honest.
Yeah,
if not gonna lie, I've talked to this to my buddies, and they all said that if Carrie Fisher didn't die, that would have been her spot.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been her moment to talk to Ben about the technically. They did mention that it's her final shot of talking to Ben before he completely goes to the dark side.
Yeah.
But they work. They work. And someone out there had a video of him running with "I Need a Hero" as a song for the background. Not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. Okay, can we talk about Knights of Ren and how useless they are against a single Jedi.
Who?
Knights of Ren.
Who? I don't know who they are.
Compared to Snoke's Red Guard.
Christ.
Snoke's Red Guard gave Rey and a Sith Lord a run for their money, whereas Knights of Ren lost to a single Jedi. And there's this one guy with a big ass hammer that didn't do anything.
Oh my god.
And all they did was stalk people.
Yeah.
Same with Boba Fett. Another cool concept, only to be ruined by uselessness. Yes, I am talking about Boba Fett, the badass looking mother. Yes, I've never liked Boba Fett at all. Jango Fett is way better, and you can fight me for that.
Well, it's over now.
Yes, thank Lord. Now I'm just looking for. The only thing I'm looking forward for is Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, Kenobi on Disney Plus. You know, speaking of Disney Plus and Star Wars, The Mandalorian. Yay!
Oh yeah.
Now that is a good Star Wars show.
Hold on.
You gotta stretch. But yeah, The Mandalorian. That's a great story. That was half smart. That one's a great story.
Yeah.
Like Baby Yoda. I don't know what you are, but I don't care.
I want you and I need you.
I was surprised that they don't have any products when I went to Disney. Dude, you're spilling everywhere.
Sorry.
You're peeing? I mean, we're live.
We're live.
Pretty much. But yeah, I'm surprised. They rarely had anything. Actually, this one my biggest gripe. I'm going back to the sequel here, but
wait, we're talking about Star Wars thing?
Yes, we're still talking about the sequels, but my biggest gripe with Star Wars is that they did not mention anything from the prequel memes. I found it, but they barely did anything outside of Darth Maul.
You know.
But that's because he was in the TV shows. You
know who could have used that mini-chlorian idea to their advantage? The Order.
Order 66?
No. What's it called? The First Order.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they could have used that mini-chlorian. Like they could have been like, oh, well, we looked in the past and we saw that the Republic won with like Force users or Jedis, right?
Hey, you know what?
We found this like scientific journal by Qui-Gon Jinn, and now we have our own Force
Maybe Qui-Gon Jinn is just stupid. I'm sorry, Liam Neeson, but that and George Lucas, but that midi-chlorian is not gonna. You could have given it a better name.
It would have been an interesting concept to see like science
giving it a more
religion,
precisely, but
and like
it's just one
about
episode.
The Force.
It's just one episode.
He should have just went through with it.
You know what? Forget that one. Let's go back to the Skywalkers.
Okay.
Oh, let's talk about the Force and the new sequels. Yeah, sure. Oh, no one liked it? Oh, let's throw that back. Bring in the Skywalkers once again. Let's connect everything back to one guy, Palpatine, who's been alive for 3,566 years.
Did they explain how he survived?
No, well, third episode.
Oh,
yeah.
The Force works in mysterious.
What? You never heard of the
Darth Plagueis the Wise?
You've never heard of the tragedy of the Darth Plagueis the Wise? It's not the story a Jedi will tell you.
Oh my god.
I've been on that subreddit for so long. I could probably recite the half of it without problem.
Is it a Sith legend?
No, it's not a Jedi legend. Oh no, it's not a legend. It's not a Jedi legend. It's not a legend that a Jedi will tell you, something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much how he survived. But from what? I guess he just fell. You know, he got stabbed. Electricity.
It's not even that. The Death Star
keeps his pumping.
No, it's not even that. The Death Star
blew up.
Literally blew up.
We can see the fragments in the Rise of Skywalker.
There was nothing left.
I mean, technically, in the Rise of Skywalker, the big disc is still alive.
and
like of all places.
And like you just find the little like compass thing, but with a knife, and you just pull out some like.
They never explained that. Like, apparently, Palpatine had a backup plan.
I have more questions.
Right?
And they're not even the good kind.
For me, same here. Okay, let's go back to Mandalorian.
Okay,
I want
oh
to.
my god. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I never explained my gripe with the Disney and Star Wars.
Okay.
It's all sequels. There is barely any. There's no Obi-Wan lightsaber.
Okay.
There's no Qui-Gon Jinn. There's no Yoda. Oh people, there's no Yoda. I mean, understandable. There's no Mandalorian merch yet. They do have some shirts, but not like plushies. No rifles, no mask. But other than that, why focus on the original? And I mean, sure the prequels didn't really work, but the prequels are the prequels. It's still established by George Lucas.
They should have made the Baby Yoda plushie when the hype was real.
They did actually.
They did.
They had I think it was a limited order though, because
I bet they were sold out like that.
I believe it. It was over the holidays, from what I've read last time. But yeah, they had like 200, 300 plushies. Then everyone loves Baby Yoda.
Okay, we understand. Disney is rich. Now let's talk about the Mandalorian.
Baby Yoda, you are
Disney
precious.
is rich. We understand.
And if Disney ever do anything to you, I will hunt down Disney themselves. I will hunt down the Mickey.
They're too rich.
I'm hunting down the mouse.
They are too rich.
I don't care.
They are too rich.
They are playing with my emotions by doing something with Baby Yoda.
Again, they are too rich.
I'm not gonna be the only one who's hunting down the mouse.
They're just gonna throw a wad of $100 bills at your face.
Give me 5,000 of those, I'll be fine. Give me $5,100 wads of money in my face, and I'll be fine. I'll look away. But outside of that, I will hunt down me and probably a million of other people who have seen The Mandalorian. Will come down to the mouse's house, the House of Mouse, and tear down that wall and throw out the mouse.
They got enough money to cover it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
They can probably build it in the same day we break it down. Like break, and then it's built. Backup security.
Like that that Amish joke in Family Guy. When Peter.
I've never seen Family Guy.
Okay.
And I probably will never. Same with South Park, American Dad, also Bob's Burgers. The only cartoon I've seen recently is Rick and Morty.
Oh, I gotta watch that. I gotta watch New Season.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. There's
I
only been a
saw
good
the snake one.
Okay, I was about to say that's the only good one. Like at first I didn't like it, but that's a completely different story.
Okay, Mandalorian. I loved it.
I loved it as well.
I love it.
Apparently, Darksabers have been around since the Clone Wars TV show. Too bad for me. I've never seen Clone Wars.
Me neither.
I'm gonna binge it one day. On April, I will binge it along with Rebels. And then maybe Mandalorian again. Just maybe not Mandalorian.
I've seen it in clips, but I don't understand like the.
I've seen it in memes.
Okay.
I've seen memes. And it's hilarious whenever I come across the meme in the show itself, because I was like, I know that.
This is the way.
This is the way. We have spoken. In a way.
Okay, so I remember we were kind of talking about this about the Mandalorian. It's not really like a broad linear story. It's more like side quests.
In a way. It's an RPG game.
Yeah. But that's good. It keeps the ideas fresh, I was entertained the whole time, even though it was like 35 minutes.
That's what I'm kind of upset about.
35 minutes.
But at the same time, it works.
It was refreshing,
It's technically I won't say a full-length cartoon, more like a 2-episode cartoon, because usually it's like 20 minutes long for a cartoon to go for. Then with that, double it, boom, you have a full episode of Mandalorian. But I was actually expecting more Western. Like the first episode, that was really Western.
It
more
was still
standoffish. It's still there, but I was more expecting like a lot more standoffs, more Western theme like
okay. No. Their each episode had its own style of like past westerns, because I know when he went to the village, it was like the nobody from nowhere protects the village from like
the one with Bryce Dallas Howard direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
The nobody from nowhere like protects the village from like the savages, right? Yeah. And then there's the one where is that Thunder?
I think it's that one.
Oh.
I think it's my theater room.
And then
Maybe.
it was the bounty hunter trying to leave like the gang, and he had to shoot his way out just to leave.
I like
it.
that one, to be honest. That's still my favorite episode.
And then oh my god, there was a lot of Western things I noticed, but then again, I watch a lot of Westerns.
You watch a lot. I barely watch any Western. Westerns have been my.
I love Westerns.
I'm a space guy.
I love Westerns and gangsters.
I'm a space guy. I go up, not down.
Dude.
But yeah, Mandalorian overall pretty good. I want more. I was surprised they actually decided to take off his helmet. And I'm surprised to see Pedro Pascal's face on it because I'm so used to the voice, just the voice. I get it, it's Pedro Pascal, but it's just a voice.
Like he was like a normal looking guy.
Yeah,
but
he's deformed.
But like it still kept that mystery. Like, oh, what if he does?
I actually thought he would have taken off the mustache,
yeah.
But they kept it in there. He didn't do anything, to be honest. Just wet up his hair, ruffle it up, and boom, ready for Wonder Woman 1984.
The most badass scene. Well, to me, the most badass scene.
Go ahead. Let's hear it.
In that entire series was when he got the full armor. When they were making the armor for him.
That's true. Yeah.
Dude, I was like,
anything from third episode.
So nice.
For me, it's when the other Mandalorians came out.
Oh yeah.
That was cool.
And the guy with like the heavy machine gun came out with a jetpack.
Then he was like, "This is the way." I'm like, oh, "That's the guy who nearly fought him." Yeah, but this is the way. But this is the way, apparently. Yeah, he'll fight you, but if anyone messes with his brother, they're gonna get the hands.
Oh, and then when he flew off with the jetpack, he was like, "I gotta get me one of those."
And he did.
He did.
It was.
That show is so good.
His designs, their designs, what I love about these designs, they're way better than Boba Fett's.
Yeah.
As you guys can tell, I do not.
I saw the antennas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did see some Boba Fett
Yeah.
inspired suits, but their suits were far better than Boba Fett's.
I thought they would mention like Boba Fett or Jango Fett, like a little reference, because
I'm surprised they didn't. To be
I keep
honest.
hearing like people saying like, "Oh, Boba Fett and Jango Fett, they weren't really like Mandalorians."
Yeah, I think it was in the Clone Wars where they established that, or Rebels, either one, that they're not really Mandalores. I mean, even spoiler alert, I don't know why I said that, but in the Mandalorian, it was established that he was not a Mandalore as well. It's just the Mandalorian is just a creed.
Oh, what kind of confused
Wakanda.
me? Wakanda forever. What kind of confused me in the series was, remember when they went back down that tunnel in the last episode, and you saw all the Mandalorians like just dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was like, they're elite warriors. They have that elite warrior thing.
They have all these elite warriors
Yeah.
dead, but there's this armor that's still going,
Yeah.
still making armor. To
She's
speed up.
badass.
Dude, I like
She
her
beat the
helmet.
crap out of all those
Out
stormtroopers.
of all the helmets featured in that show, her helmet is the best one
It's
because
like a
it's the
Viking Nordic one. Oh,
Excuse you,
well,
it's
I
Greek.
got Viking Nordic vibes.
No, dude, it's Greek. It's Spartan. It's straight up Spartan.
No. She got
How much
she got
you want
the
to
fur thing?
It's fur, but that helmet is Spartan. That's a Spartan helmet. There were. How much you want to bet?
Show me your sources.
All right, two rounds.
This is going off my perspective.
For me too.
Okay.
All right,
It's more Nordic.
it's more Spartan. How much you want to bet? 2 rounds at the bar.
1. I'm pretty
All
bored.
right, okay, same. One bar. One bar.
One bar?
One bar. Bar of what? So, but yeah, one round. We will figure this out. We'll check this later. But for now,
It's more Nordic.
it's Spartan,
It
dude.
goes with the other stuff.
Dude, Spartans are born as a warrior.
So are Vikings.
They could be both. They could. What if they're both?
Are you telling me
The helmet is more Spartan, but the armor is more Nordic.
Spartans did not have like the little horns? Okay, that's more Nordic, and they had the fur. She had the fur
But
coat,
the cover, that is Spartan.
So did Nordics. So did Vikings. They had
Theirs
the
is
cover
wider.
too. They
Theirs
still
is
had
wider.
The little T in the face.
That-
We're gonna settle this later.
Yeah, we're
anyway,
gonna-
back to the show.
Yeah. All right, The Witcher. We're done with the
No.
Mandalorian.
One thing I want to say. One thing I want to say.
Okay.
Okay, that the forger lady. Okay.
I just call her armor.
Armor, like the blacksmith lady. I forgot her name, but she's badass.
I thought it was armor.
Dude, like, okay, I got two things.
She was just kneeling, praying, or not
she
praying.
Beat the crap out of stormtroopers.
What was that word? Starts with an M.
Meditating.
Meditating.
Yeah, dude, she took the hammer and like cracked him.
And my opinions about stormtroopers did not change after that.
And you saw the ones on the speeder bikes?
Oh yeah.
they couldn't hit it. They couldn't shoot
Oh
the thing.
my gosh, the joke is still there. That's what I love about the last episode, to be honest. Like the one little, I don't know. I thought even though they were beating up Baby Yoda, it was pretty wholesome. It was pretty wholesome. Like they're just two regular guys got hired for a job.
Oh my god.
Then they're just passing the time by trying to shoot a what was it?
It was some device or something.
Yeah, but they kept missing. Then they're messing around with one another and such. That was I thought Baby Yoda will just like use the force to move the gun to the blaster to the other guy. But
the comedy in that series was it was funny.
It wasn't trying too hard,
no.
But they know it's
subtle.
There. I wouldn't say subtle, but it's there. It's there. They're not trying too hard. If it's funny, it's funny. But if it's not, they shrug it off. Like, that's fine. Off to the next joke.
I cracked up when like they were spying on the Sand People, Tusken Raiders, and then the young guy was like, man, I'm gonna go mess them up and like that. And then like the Mandalorian was like, yeah, why don't you tell them right there? And then it just cuts away right there to the two people. It's just like
there was another one. I wouldn't say it's been a long time, but it's been a couple of weeks since I last completely watched the series as a whole again. But yeah, I remember there was one episode, one scene. I was just like, that is so stupid. Like
tell me, my mind's fresh.
I don't remember.
What episode?
Dude, I just said I don't remember. I know there was one scene, it made me laugh.
Okay.
But I know it wasn't that one because it was a little bit, I think it was a little bit after that episode where I went back and I was like, okay, that was stupid. Funny, but pretty stupid. I was just like, I can't believe I laughed at that. That was stupid. But yeah, well, that's one TV show that ended earlier, I wouldn't say earlier this month. It ended up like literally the day before New Year's Eve. But, okay. Alright, The Witcher anyway. I find it hilariously fun. The only problem I have is it can be pretty confusing. Like, episode 4, we see Geralt talking to the royal family, and it was just difficult because we saw them die literally the first episode, and yeah, timeline wise it was pretty confusing, and otherwise, and the dragon was pretty weird. It was like Merlin graphics. Disc.
What?
I'm already done with The Witcher.
What'd you talk about?
The dragon and how bad it looks.
Yeah, that dragon was kind of, but the other monsters were looking pretty good.
The Skriga.
The beginning.
Skriga?
What was the monster in the beginning? He fought.
Good question.
That was good.
Good question.
That was good.
I don't know what that one is, but good question.
That was good.
But
that
the Skriga. I keep saying Skriga. I'm trying to figure out if I'm saying it right. Or Skriga, Riga.
Was that the daughter that was born out of incest?
Yep. That was
that episode was pretty good.
I like that episode.
Even though it was kind of like a side quest, that episode was pretty good.
The whole show is a side quest.
But I liked it that because this is mostly based off the books, right?
Some books, some games.
I like because
they advertise it as more books friendly.
It covers like the important like character,
not Triss
plots, not Triss. Oh,
well, then again, a lot of people have been complaining about Triss. I have no idea. I have no idea who Triss is.
Yeah.
She showed up. I thought it would be the first girl, like the first girl that they showed, the one that swings swords all around.
Oh
I
yeah.
thought she was gonna be Triss. I didn't know who Triss was. I was just confused the entire time. I was like, "Who's Triss?
It was
Are you Triss?" Every girl that shows up, "Are you Triss?" No, that's Yennefer.
wasn't Triss the witch that helped Gerald hunt the Skriga?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
she got burned in the end.
Did she?
Yeah, when she was defending that fort.
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Just near her boobs. But yes,
Damn, those
Yennefer, fine lady. Yeah,
she's fine.
She's pretty
She
fine.
is fine.
She's pretty good too. To be honest, I'm not familiar with The Witcher, so I can't really say much. Other than that,
It's a good show.
I find it fun.
Yeah.
I saw it in Rotten Tomatoes,
Um,
55%. I was like, it was pretty fun. Confusing. Yeah, confusing.
Yeah, like the jumping from timelines.
Yeah, like first episode we see the family dying, then the fourth episode we see Geralt like having a blast at a party with them. So I'm like, oh, okay. Then I tried to piece it together, then boom, I got it all together. I was like, then that's when everyone apparently mentioned that in episode 4. I was like, oh yeah, they finally put the timeline together. I was like, ha, I figured it out in episode 4. Eat a dick, dude.
Dude, I was like, when he was there the whole time,
That song though.
I was like, toss your coin to the Witcher, oh valley of plenty.
That's a banger.
Oh valley.
That's a banger.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a
There's a lot of
remix.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, there have been so many
Covers.
super duper a lot of metal covers on YouTube.
Oh,
I was so
God.
tempted to make one, but I'm not a singer.
You act like
But I
this is
could,
war.
but I could play the guitar part. Give me a lute. I can do it.
Don't you play the ukulele?
That's not a lute.
Same thing, right?
No, it's a little bit bigger. It's somewhat bigger than a mandolin. It's probably close to a mandolin.
It's
More.
not a guitar.
It's a tiny guitar. Not that tiny though.
So like a ukulele.
Not that tiny. This is just like this is a ukulele. This is a guitar. Probably in the middle, like right here.
Yeah,
Not
you
a
should-
guitar.
You should just show up to like.
I just show up to a LARPing. I just show up to a LARP. Toss a coin to. There's like, dude, this is Lord of the Rings. Toss a coin. Toss a ring to your Mordor. Oh,
Toss a
Valley
ring
of Deadly.
Toss a ring into Mordor.
Oh, Valley of Deadly. Oh, Valley of Deadly. Oh, whoa, ho.
I think we
Boom.
got a music idea.
You know what? Geeks Reviews moves to Geeks Compose.
Oh.
That's not gonna catch on much.
We'll see. Anything.
You're talking to the least creative guy in this room.
Okay.
I'm talking about me.
I know.
Okay, good. I thought we were in a different area.
No.
But yeah, The
kidding.
Witcher. Great story, terrible effects on that one dragon story. Good story though. I like that episode, but it's just that dragon. It was just that dragon. What I
Yeah.
do wanted more was more monster hunting. That's what a lot of people have said. Instead of they played it safe by not featuring a lot of hunting, but they featured more of the characters, giving them screen, making sure they have the proper introductions. So I'm hoping in season 2 and 3 and probably future they'll have more monster hunting. Like in episode 1, that's what made episode 1 so cool. We actually see Geralt fighting a monster.
Yeah.
Then the Skriga episode, everyone's talking about it. But then again, Skrigas are like one of the most popular monsters in all of the Witcher series.
And like I think the season 1, it's fine to play it safe. You just want to
Establish everything.
like have a base, and then now you can go to the monster hunting.
I do hope they increase the episode count
Yeah.
from 8 or 9 to like 12. 12, 13.
Yeah.
Give it that Daredevil appeal.
Mhm.
Because my
Wow.
only...
I completely forgot about Daredevil.
Daredevil? What's Daredevil?
Oh.
I mean, Netflix Batman.
Yeah.
Poor man's Batman.
But anyway,
Blind
what's
man.
the name?
But yeah, Siri was pretty cool. I'm not a really big fan of... I mean, she's not really a child, but... She's 18. I guess technically she's an adult.
So she's Gerald's daughter.
Not really.
He had
I
an
don't
affair
know.
with that princess, right?
No.
No?
That's the term of law of surprise
Okay.
is that whatever is the kid. I think this is what I'm assuming is betrothed to Gerald, no matter what. Because remember the porcupine guy
Yeah.
was given the law of surprise by the king
Uh-huh.
by by the king because he saved his life.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, by the law of surprise, you have, you know. Then he noticed that he's not really the like he's a porcupine dude, but he stayed away. But in the end, he still managed to, it still worked out. They still fell in
Yeah,
love
yeah.
enough. So I'm thinking it's supposed to be betrothed, like they're bound to be together. But I'm just assuming that they're just bound to be together to meet it and not really get together. More like just like, oh yeah, you're destined to be with me forever on my side, but not completely. It's up to us to decide where it's if it's gonna be romantically or just platonically. Like, oh yeah, she's my
I think that's
little
his
buddy.
kid.
No, it's not his kid because
Why would you go through all that trouble though?
he didn't want to be. He said, no. When he was like, the love
Ugh.
surprise. And I was
Henry
like,
Cavill?
wait. It's just like later on you just see like, oh damn it.
Henry Cavill.
It's good. It's
Good.
good.
He's very good.
He's really good. I
very good.
actually enjoyed it.
When there was that quote of the creator of the show saying when she
Is this
imagined
she?
Gerald.
Oh wow.
Yeah. When she
Oh
imagined
show. I thought you said the
yeah.
book. Oops, never mind.
When she imagined Gerald Olivier, she thought Henry Cavill.
Not gonna lie.
It kind of
The
fits too.
the voice, his voice actually is pretty close.
Fuck.
Because I actually was playing. I have the first two Witcher games, and I was just playing around with the games are weird.
Yeah.
It's like it's an RPG game,
Yeah.
but it's like Final Fantasy game. It's like you press X to attack. This one you have to time it right. I was like, oh, that's so confusing. But anyway, while I was playing the game, they have some dialogues, and this was me after I watched The Witcher, and I was just listening. Just like, damn, they sound pretty close. They sound pretty close.
Oh my
They're
God.
really coarse, really grovelly. But I would say the guy who voiced Geralt in the games is a little bit deeper than
Yeah.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
But other than that, oh my gosh, if you put them side by side, I'll probably be like, oh hey, Henry? No, oh that's Henry. Oh okay, oops, sorry. But I remember a lot of people have been modding their games to make Geralt look like Henry Cavill. But yeah,
Hey man, does kick-ass job.
it works.
He's
It
a
works.
serious actor. Even though
You know?
he like starred in like a lot more pop culture stuff. Serious actor.
I mean, technically, he's still in pop culture. The Witcher.
No, yeah. Even though he stars in like pop
Oh,
culture
yeah,
stuff,
that's what I mean.
like if he does
Hey,
something
you know
else,
what? My favorite role of
Yeah.
him is still Superman, followed by the Mission Impossible one.
yeah.
That was pretty cool.
You see Immortals?
No,
Yeah,
probably
me
never.
neither.
But I know he's in there.
Yeah.
I thought it was Spartacus, to be honest. But yes. Anyway, I mean that's pretty much our brief overall opinions about the shows and the movie Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Star Wars: The
The
Rise of
Mandalor-
Skywalker sucked.
The Mandalorian,
great.
rocked.
It rocked.
The Witcher needs a little bit more dice.
Has potential.
I mean, it showed the potential. But
Good.
it needs
It has a lot of potential.
it needs a little bit more visual
Yeah.
effects,
They'll get
But
there.
anyway, those are pretty much. But anyway, we're getting close to time here. Not really. 12 minutes. 12 minutes is a lot.
That's
But yes, decade 2010s. What was the most iconic movie that you've seen? You mentioned earlier it was Good Will Hunting. Would you say so? After giving some more thought about it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Still? Okay.
Yeah.
What did I watch? I can't really go back all I would give it to what about TV shows? TV shows.
Oh, okay. Let me explain like Good Will Hunting. So
Brief explanation, go.
So like I watched it when I just started going to college,
Mhm.
and I guess it just hit that right moment where I was like just transitioning into like another chapter in my life, you know. And I also watched Monsters University. You know, it just
Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, I was like scared to like.
Oh.
Oh my god! Are you okay? You want me to pause?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Oh wait,
Got a camera.
Seriously, this episode. I'm
episode.
glad we don't have a camera. Unfortunately, sorry for the another
Technical difficulty.
Technically a technical difficulty.
We
My drink spilled everywhere.
But however, it's been a long time since we recorded. We're just having fun.
But
It's all fun.
Speaking for you, it's easy for you to say. Mine spilled my drink everywhere. I'm not having fun. My drink spilled everywhere.
I'm enjoying the time we have.
You're enjoying the fact that I spilled my drink everywhere.
You know what? If that's included, so be it.
Okay. I was about to say if you try to
Cause you're a bro.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Just kidding.
Oh,
what? We're talking about bromance history already.
Okay.
Anyway,
yeah.
I forgot where we're at. Oh yeah,
we're
talking about Goodwill Hunting.
It was just at that right moment when I was transitioning to like another chapter.
An adulthood.
Adulthood. Young adulthood.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Anyway, what about you? Like,
man, so many. Well, not really. I can't really think of anything, to be honest. All I know is that 2010s is the start of Geeks Reviews. 2014 was the birth of the Instagram account.
Yeah.
Then 2019 we started this podcast or this YouTube channel. We're still trying to get it there. Everything's organized, so bear with us.
Follow
us on everything.
Subscribe.
Yeah. It's all up there in the description and the banner and such. But yeah, I'm just trying to get by with it.
Yeah.
I really love that I actually started it both times. Like back in probably 2013, I was thinking about maybe I should try.
Yeah.
Starting a new Instagram account where all I do is feature movies, video games, artwork, comics, video games, all sorts of things, books. I tried music. It was pretty difficult because sometimes you don't really. Oh man.
Are you okay? Breathe, bro. Breathe.
All right. But like without really listening through much of music is like it's really hard to describe what you think about it. But anyway, with the movies, what's the most impactful movie I've seen this entire decade? I have no idea. All I know is that. Oh, actually, I do. Man of Steel, because I remember going to the theater. I wasn't really that big of a Superman fan, and after watching the movie, I actually did not like the movie. I actually hated the movie, and but you know what? I got the Blu-ray and I kept on watching it, and the more I watch it, the more I appreciate the movie. And now, Superman is my favorite superhero outside of within DC.
Yeah.
I mean, Spider-Man is still there, but still number one. But number two, Superman. But yeah, Superman is great. I love Superman. Henry Cavill, surprisingly enough, is there. But yeah, like I said, it's just like it's because it's about an alien trying to live within a world who doesn't really know him.
It's not even like alien like from outer space. It's like an outsider.
An outsider. He didn't fit in Smallville because he had powers.
Yeah.
He didn't whenever he got his powers discovered, he moved somewhere else. And to me, as a guy who moved from one country to another, as a 10-year-old, I'm still trying to find my place.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I moved to different schools, so it's 2010, but I'm still trying to figure out who I am, and that's what Man of Steel for me is. And as for the what's my favorite what's my movie of 2010s, it will be Interstellar.
Oh, that's a beautiful movie. Beautiful.
I'm just. If you guys have been here from the beginning, I am a big Christopher Nolan fan, and I'm excited for Tenet.
Oh yeah, me too.
And then, but yeah, Interstellar, I still watch it to this day, and still one of the most beautiful looking movies ever, next to Jurassic Park.
Going back to like Man of Steel,
Hmm.
what I loved about that movie, it just made you feel like hopeful.
Yeah,
Like literally when he says like, "Oh, the S stands for hope,"
yeah,
it just gave you that sense of hope. Like to this day,
security
like
as well.
whenever I feel like a little like down or depressed, I go watch that scene of like when he first takes flight.
Oh, dude, the first
Dude.
flight scene is
Oh my god, the score, like just when
not John, Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer.
Woo. Too
Dude,
bad you don't do any superhero movies nowadays. Thank you, Batman vs Superman. Even though I
Dude.
like your movie,
just it's like
Super
when he falls down and
Oh yeah, the first time
Yeah.
he didn't give up.
yeah,
He
and
still tried. And
yeah, and
he
then
still
like
went.
the music picked up when he tried
Uh-huh.
again. Oh man, it was
And how
so
he's
good.
so excited.
Yes.
And then for me, it was just overall a good movie. And then we got Suicide Squad
That's
after
life.
that. And then we got Justice League after that. Now we're
It'll
in
get
the
better.
Snyder
It'll
Cut.
get better.
I hope
It'll
so.
get better.
You know
It'll
what?
get better.
I'm hopeful because there's Shazam.
Okay.
There's Wonder Woman 84. Aquaman was pretty decent. I'm hoping, even though as much as I liked Ben Affleck's Batman, I hope Robert Pattinson is in the DCEU and he was just they just retconned Ben Affleck's character to be him. What else? Birds of Prey. I have no hope for that one. I'm not really. As I've said before, I hope they should have made a Gotham City. They should have made that movie into a Gotham City Sirens movie rather than a Birds of Prey movie. It would have fit better.
I'm hoping for another solo Superman movie.
Oh, you're gonna wait a decade
I
for
know.
another decade for
I know.
nobody.
I know, but and I hope Henry Cavill is still playing Superman.
You know what? Finished recently. Speaking of DC and Superman, Doomsday Clock. Now,
Oh.
3 years worth of waiting, and they brought back everything. Kind of because in the now I'm kind of wondering how they're gonna tackle on Superman nowadays. Because in Doomsday Clock, they actually mentioned how they took off the JSAs so that Clark didn't know how to be a superhero and such.
Yeah.
And in the Man of Steel, they don't really have that idea. It's like, oh, you can't really use your powers yet because people will talk and people will wonder.
Yeah.
So by then, Legion of Superheroes won't be a thing in the future. But now, I don't know. It's just a confusing mess. But yes, Man of Steel was one of my favorite movies, alongside of Interstellar. I don't really remember. I guess Jurassic Park.
Jurassic World?
No, Park.
Park? Oh,
yeah,
you saw Jurassic Park during the 2010s?
Yeah. Like
what the
I
hell?
watch that every other year.
Oh shit.
Like I'll still watch it still.
Oh
Yeah.
Hey, is that good?
Hey, I have the Blu-rays, the first 3 movies. Of course I will watch it. I think I have the 4th one as well. I don't remember. I think I only have the 3. But yeah, I remember I watched. You know what? Like I said earlier, I'm a big fan of Jurassic World. I think it was a good idea to recapture the magic of Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And still kept a fresher, modernized take on the movie.
Yeah.
But still, it was. But the Lost Kingdom was garbage. Unfortunately, that one made me sad.
I just
Same with the Lost World.
It's been a good decade.
I was like, yeah, good decade in terms of film. What about TV?
TV.
For me,
Ooh.
I would say CW. Outside of that, the only reason is because of the rise of comic book stuff. Like 2008, we saw. I would have mentioned Iron Man. I could have mentioned Iron Man because I did watch the entire MCU from the beginning to the end this past April. But yeah, we had the Marvel Cinematic Universe going super strong. But at the same time, they're kind of easing out so people can get back into it after a massive event. But yeah, all the way since 2008, all
Breaking
the way
Bad.
to 2019, I still need to watch it again. I said
my
I need to
God.
watch it again.
Man.
The last time I watched it was 2013, 2014.
You know who had a very stellar decade?
Bryan Cranston?
Yes.
Godzilla, dude.
He had. Yeah, I still love that movie.
You know what? As many as how I don't care if people hate King of Monsters. That movie was awesome.
I still need to
Just take
watch
out
that.
the
I
human side.
will watch it.
Just take out the human story, and you got one of the best fights ever. Rodan versus Godzilla and King Ghidorah. Oh! So
I'm
that
so
was
hyped.
awesome. That was awesome.
But it's like,
So I'm excited for King Kong. I'm excited for King Kong fight Godzilla for the title of the best best monster. But yeah,
we had a good decade.
good decade.
Good decade. A lot of growing up.
Precisely, a lot of growing up. I don't think I've changed.
Nah.
Technically, I didn't start comic books till like 2012, 2013, after my aunt introduced me into it. But yeah, thanks to her, I'm now one of the biggest comic book nerd anyone knows. Because I mean, I have a drawer full of comics. I have a shelf full of graphic novels. I just got a Spider-Man statue for Christmas. I have a shelf full of superheroes, a bunch of wooden posters of superheroes, poster of Spider-Man, a bunch of poster of Spider-Man. I have another one in the other room. I have a picture of the Flash signed by the Flash himself. I have a Superman, Batman flags, Shazam poster, a Justice League poster. I have another Avengers, X-Men. I have all sorts of comic book stuff, except Blu-rays. I only have Thor and the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, I'm not impressed, but okay.
I know I'm kind of upset about that.
You're such an amateur.
I know. I have all sorts of like what you call that, the pop figure. I have only two figures. I only have a Deadpool and a Caecilius. But yeah, I have like all the stories of this, and it starts with one story, Blackest Night. Best. You read that?
You
Yes,
let
that
me
was
read. Was it on a field trip?
Was it the field trip?
I think it was
so.
on the field trip.
It was the senior trip. Excuse you, we're in a senior. We were
Oh right,
senior.
But
yeah,
dude,
senior
to
trip.
this day,
That was the
best comic book I ever read.
It was great. I love that story to the heart. I will read it every now and then,
Oh my
just
god.
to feel like I'm just like, it's just fun.
Yeah.
That made me love Green Lantern so much. That was my very first Green Lantern story, and my aunt actually suggested it to me, recommended that whole story to me. I was like, whoo!
Dude.
She said, "Don't read Brightest Day." I read it. I enjoyed it. Blackest Night though, it's like top tier.
Dude,
One of the best.
That was the
One
best.
of the best. One of the best. But yeah,
Man.
that was my 2010s. That's pretty much why like you see comic book covers on the banner. Why I tend to lean more on comic book related items like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the DCEU, the CW shows. Surprisingly, I still watch them all today, even though some of them have been garbage for years.
Looking back, I'm kind of afraid to say this, but like I feel like my taste in movies, it's matured.
For me, it's just like gone down. Just kidding. It matured. Ever since I started the Geeks Reviews.
Yeah.
To be honest, Geeks Reviews was not the first name. I changed the name multiple times.
Okay.
Until I settled in Geeks Reviews. I actually tried to find the underscores. That wasn't there before. But yes, yeah. Pretty much I can say the same. Like both of our, it matured.
It's matured, but I feel like I won't be able to enjoy the things I used to enjoy.
You're right, because I used to love Doom with The Rock and Carl Urban.
Yeah.
God, that movie was garbage.
But like, I feel like if I went to go see like the Rise of Skywalker when I was 10.
Oh yeah.
I would have enjoyed. I would have said it's the best movie ever.
Yeah,
oh my god.
because it's all the lights and
Yeah.
everything. I feel that. Yeah.
Oh man.
Now you've seen like for me, ever since I started the Geeks Reviews page on Instagram, back then I was still getting along. Like,
Yeah.
I find this movie fun. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Back then you're probably I don't remember. I remember there was a movie where I totally like I just said it was terrible and such. Then the next time I rewatched it,
Mm-hmm.
I actually gave better like I actually told an honest response. I was like,
Yeah.
you know, to be honest, I used to find this thing uh terrible, and now I actually enjoyed it after watching it again. You know, I've seen where they were going. You know, you see a different point of view.
Yeah.
You see choreography more. You see the reasoning behind the score. You see the visuals. You know, everything. The story. You're understanding it more.
You know what? This will get a little personal,
Oh,
but when I watched Star Wars, I watched it with my dad, right?
uh-huh.
Rise
You
of
didn't
Skywalker.
watch it with your dad.
I watched it with my dad.
You kept that tradition.
Huh?
You
Yeah.
kept that tradition.
But I watched the Rise of Skywalker with my dad,
Hmm.
and he enjoyed it, and I didn't like it. But you know what? He told me that like really messed with my mind.
He watched with you.
No, he
Oh,
was like,
that was
you know too much. That's why it ruins the fun. You know.
That is true.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my
Sometimes
god, he's right.
knowing a lot of the details and the reasoning behind those details kind of ruins this perspective.
Yeah.
That's
Just,
why a lot of people talk trash about Batman versus Superman. And I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, as an overall movie, yeah, sure, it could be bad, but if you're just here to watch your favorite trio, comic book
Yeah.
trio, come to life, this is the movie.
And even though I'm glad I get to understand movies like say The Irishman or The King's
Yeah,
Speech,
precisely.
like more mature,
Yeah,
like
for me,
thought-provoking
I would
movies.
say, what was the last serious movie I watched? Pull up my Geeks Review real quick. I don't remember, but yeah, The Watchmen.
Yeah.
Like, if I watched that when I was a kid,
I watched that in middle school. I didn't like. I was like, this is stupid.
oh man, every time I watched the movie, no, I was talking about the show. The movie I fell asleep, but I still
Yeah.
liked it. But the show, if I
Yeah.
watched that when I was a kid, I would have find that show stupid,
Mm,
long, and dragged out.
yeah.
And I won't focus on the details. Now that I know about the subreddit, I actually visit the subreddit every time I finish watching the show.
Yeah.
The episodes, I will go to the subreddit and see what I missed. You know, let's get on the discussion, the community, and not kind of like one of the best communities when it comes to TV shows because no one's like yelling at one another. It's like, oh, did you get this? We're like, oh yeah, dude, my mind was blown. I was like, oh,
Jeez.
this is my people.
Oh my god.
But I'm happy. I'm gonna be happy if they don't do season 2, but I'll be happy. I'll be extremely happy if they do season 2.
I think that's why. I think this year, like from now on in the future, The Mandalorian is going to be my show. I love it. It just mixes things that I like.
You're into the western. That's kind of
Yeah.
what nearly threw me off, to be honest. I knew it was gonna be a western
Yeah.
style, but I was in my head. I was like, if this actually continues a heavy reliance on western, and there are certain western that's like dragged out and
Yeah.
such. I'll probably drop it head on.
Mm.
But hey, you know what? Baby Yoda kept me in.
I
I thought that would be a one and done story arc, but no, it was a full
yeah.
a full season. I was like, okay. I thought it would be a 3-4 episode long. But
like he's a major part in the
yeah,
whole story.
he is the character. He's
Yeah.
one of the characters. And I was like, oh, I'll keep with it.
Oh, I love that show, man.
Hopefully, it doesn't go down in quality like the CW.
It won't.
I don't know, man. A lot of people said that with Arrow and
It's Disney. It's Disney. It's Disney though. It's Disney. They have a lot more money than CW. You know this. Come on, man.
Money doesn't mean quality.
It can buy you a lot of quality.
No, it can't.
Yes, it can.
Story
Ask James
wise-
Cameron.
James Cameron's washed, dude.
You know what?
Avatar 2 is not gonna come out anytime soon.
It
Just
is.
watch. It's like 3-4 months.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to come back as a half.
Oh my
cyborg.
god, dude. He's literally a cyborg at this point, and he's still back.
You know who?
Terminator 50,000.
You know what I have on my Netflix list? Terminator
Terminators.
Salvation.
Garbage movie.
You know what? It's the
I find Genesis more fun.
It's the one movie. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I saw what's it called? What was the last one when they brought back Sarah Connor? Dark Fate.
I still need to watch it. I've heard mixed things
It's okay.
about it.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of cringe moments,
The-
but
I-
I power through.
Hey, you know what? Gabriel Luna, aka Ghost Rider, is in it. I'm down
He was
for.
badass. He was badass.
Yeah. All right, we're pretty much way over our time limit here, but thanks to our technical difficulties, that's probably way more than we had hoped for. But anyway, pretty much a recap. We had Star Wars saga finally ended. We can move on to the High Republic, aka the Old Republic. That's what a lot of people, a lot of news have been saying nowadays.
AKA, don't mess this up.
Dark Revan. We also finished up The Mandalorian. Gave our 2 cents about it.
10 out of 10.
One of the best shows, to be honest.
Best show.
You're a huge Star Wars fan. I'm like, I didn't like A New Hope, so yeah.
I love it.
But yes, I like The Mandalorian is fun. It's great.
I love it.
You're also a big Western. I like the Western aspect. I thought it would be heavily more. Glad at the same as much as I said that I would have dropped it if it was. I'm glad that it was subtle. It had that space yet
It wasn't
Western
so
space.
Western that you would be
It's
turned
space
away.
yeah, precisely. And then The Witcher, a fun RPG game.
I love that too.
That's a TV show. That's pretty weird. Like
Yeah, I
it's a
love that
book
too.
game and a TV show now. One more and it'll be the trio play. A play
Dude.
and a movie.
Choose your own adventure in The Witcher? No, let's not do that. That's too
You know,
confusing. I want to enjoy it.
You mean The Witcher itself, the game, the video game itself. And then we wrapped out the whole episode with the movies we've had or that influenced and impacted us throughout 2010s. Taylor said
Good Will Hunting.
and Monsters University.
I didn't say that, but yeah.
Yes, you did.
I mean, off record.
Ah.
But we both agree Man of Steel was very good.
Man of Steel for me, and the rise of comic book stuff
Yeah.
like CW, the Marvel
Yeah.
stuff. 2012 was a big year. We have the Man of Steel and 3 Man of Steel, The Dark Knight Rises, and the Avengers. So 3 big movies, 3 big superhero movies all in one year. What else? What I also comic book. Oh, Interstellar. I gave a brief mention of how Christopher Nolan did movies is how I do, like how I always perceive the movies nowadays. And pretty much we talk about our changes,
Yeah.
our personal
maturity.
development when it
Yeah.
comes to like watching a movie, what we find fun, what we see terrible in certain movies like Rise of Skywalker.
I want to say one thing about like Geeks Reviews in general.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though we have a low, I wouldn't say a low following count,
Just a low count. We're new.
but
I found a subreddit where you can upload, make a poster and it'll boost your character and stuff.
Well,
So I'll do it there.
on the Instagram, even though I wasn't really a major part of it in the beginning.
Yeah, it's more you're a newcomer, and
yeah.
you know what? You did a hell of a job. You know,
Thank you.
you had a hard time looking for proper footing, but after a couple of experimentations on how you write your stuff, you actually found it. Sometimes I'll read it, sometimes, but I'll be like, oh, okay. Sometimes I'm upset because you'll be reviewing the movies I plan to watch in the future. I'm like, oh, I won't watch that. Someone liked your thing. Open up. Oh, it's the movie I want to watch. Damn it!
But
You
anyway,
beat me to it.
but I just want to say like even though we have say 184 followers on Instagram,
100-ish.
yeah, but
So most of those are.
we have over 1,000 posts, and I just want to say like you did a freaking awesome job.
Hey, you know what?
Man, like you're
I
the bomb, bro.
I keep it. I keep it as much as I can. I try to move on from just movies. I try to do TV shows. That's why you'll see like Quantico or what's the show? The one with Jamie Alexander. Blind Spot. Oh, it's been so long. There's also one, The Blacklist. You'll see House of the one with Touchy Spacey.
House of Cards.
House of Cards.
Touchy Spacey.
Unfortunately,
I was was like, who's touching? Oh, Kevin Spacey, right?
Unfortunately, that was only one season. I haven't gone back to it because I watched it with my roommate one time, and we actually enjoyed it. That was a bonding moment. That was a bro night for us. And
Ozark is coming out soon.
I've never seen it.
I'll watch that one.
You go do that. But I've heard a lot of good things about it. So
It's good.
We'll see. Dracula is also up there.
Dude, it was made by the same people that made Sherlock.
How dare you? They started Doctor Who first.
Well, it says Sherlock on the trailer.
Unfortunately, he was the showrunner for that one. But in Doctor Who, he was the writer, the main writer.
It looks good. It looks good.
It looks good. A lot of people say it. But I was like, oh, for a guy who made Sherlock, come on. It is good. You worked with Doctor Strange.
When you're confident enough to release 4 episodes, that's an hour 30 minutes.
And that's
it's good.
As a final season, it's pretty blah. Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Second season was the best. All right. Anyway, my name is Ray.
My name is Taylor.
Follow us on our Instagram, our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud,
Instagram.
I said that already.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And,
Spotify, YouTube.
Sure. If I do anything without once I figure out how to do this podcasting on SoundCloud. But anyway, this is Geeks Reviews. Thank you for listening and have a good night.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.